Hi yogis, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a pick a card reading. We will be using the Conscious Spiritual Oracle deck. This was written and illustrated by Kim Dreyer. It's one of my favorite oracle decks. So just pre-shuffling, attuning to any energies that are tuning in, allowing for spirit to guide us and to allow us to receive the messages that we are meant to receive. We thank you ahead of time for these messages. We are oh so blessed to be here on the spiritual plane where we can be experiencing the contrast of everyday life. Please show us a message that will help us to continue to progress on our spiritual path of evolution. Once again, we thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, and we thank you. All right, so let's do 3 cards for each pile. All right. So pile number 1, we have the shell. On deck number 2, we'll have this tetrahedron gemstone. Deck number 3, we'll have this crystal quartz heart. So just taking a minute to meditate, feeling what card is attracting you most. It could either be the tetrahedron for number 2. Number 3, we have the crystal heart. And then number 1, we'll have the seashell. So just taking a minute, and feeling whatever card is being drawn to you, whatever deck is being drawn to you. Okay, so first we have deck number 1 with the shell. We have root chakra. I have everything I need to survive in this physical plane. This could be regarding if you have recently moved or your home situation has changed. Your root chakra is all about being able to feel secure in whatever your environment is. So this is about finding stability regardless of your situation. And there's simple ways you can do this. Make sure that you're eating enough, make sure that you're sleeping enough, make sure that you're taking time to go outside and to ground your energy down is going to help with your root chakra. Also the mantra, I am secure or I am safe is very beneficial. The next card that you had in your deck was balance. It's understanding the contrast of life and finding that balance between work and play, finding that balance between giving and receiving. This is also regarding appreciating the contrast in life, realizing that the negative things that come into your experience are there to essentially show you what you do want in your life and propel you towards that direction. So contrast is beneficial in showing us what we want and what we don't want. It's a very beneficial tool for manifesting, to not freak out when contrast comes. And then gratitude. Being able to cultivate gratitude in your everyday experience. This can be something as simple as the sun coming up on time today, or just little tiny things like your favorite song playing, or a little smile from somebody, little tiny things that you can think of. And gratitude, I love how there's also a spiral with this, because gratitude is such a spiral, right? You can start off really broad and then you can start to fine tune your gratitude. But you find that the more you practice your gratitude, the more you'll find things to be grateful for. And it works in the opposite end too. So these chakras these cards are great cards for manifesting. Being able to appreciate the difficulties in your life while maintaining gratitude and while maintaining stability to manifest that goal that you need. So beautiful cards. Really, they're kind of all regarding being able to appreciate where you are in life, right? None of these things need to be affected physically in order for them to change. Nothing really has to change in order for you to feel more grounded or to feel more gratitude or to feel more balanced. So my advice to you, wherever you are, and what I believe Spirit is trying to tell you, is to try to find an unconditional stability within yourself, creating an own sanctuary within yourself. So I hope you enjoyed those messages for your little seashell stack. Let me know what you think in the comments below if it resonated with you. Next, moving on to deck number 2 with our tetrahedron. Deck number 2 with our tetrahedron stone. So the first card out of the deck, we have our earth element. I gratefully accept the abundance earth bestows upon me. One of the best ways that we can feel grounded or that we can feel more abundant is to be surrounded by nature. Nature is so abundant, and even in cities, you can find little areas of nature, places to earth down. Earthing is really good for the earth element, to just get your bare feet in the soil, even though it's a little cold. Just a few minutes a day is really beneficial. What else? And really what I get from this card is this woman is allowing herself to not only be caressing this delicate plant and its roots, but she's also allowing this tree to be carrying her and to be caressing her and holding her hair. So it really is this beautiful thing where nature supports nature and you pay it forward. The things that are going to support you aren't necessarily always the things that you will support, but it always comes around to this full circle. Next card out of your deck is air element. That's interesting. Very elemental. So air is the opposite of earth. It's not necessarily the opposite in the zodiac sign, but it is quite the opposite of air and earth, where you imagine they can't necessarily exist within each other. Air element is all about the mental element. So this may be a sign that maybe you're a little bit too in your head and you need to earth down, or maybe you need to work some things out mentally. The mantra behind this is I embrace the I embrace the element of air, and I am open to all the knowledge and wisdom. Meditation is really good for being able to balance your air chakra and the air element. Breath exercises is also very important. Just taking your nice ujjayi breath in and out of the nose, full breaths. Ooh, the next card is a Spirit Awakens. This is beautiful. This is the first card in the deck. I embrace my soul purpose and align all aspects of my life to it fully. This is so beautiful. Really a beautiful array when you think about it. So yeah, this, if you picked deck number 2, the message from Spirit is to find grounding within the nature element around you, but also appreciating the spiritual aspect behind the earth element, to awaken your spirit, to find your calling. If you picked this card, I sense that you are very close. If you have not already realized your soul purpose or one of your soul purposes, then you are very close to realizing that. Just keep developing yourself mentally and also making sure that you are physically grounding down and that you're physically supporting yourself. But this is a beautiful reading. And just being able to trust yourself, knowing that you already have everything that you need, and just trusting that the path will unfold for you as it naturally is supposed to. Not fighting, not resisting, flowing like air, growing like roots, taking the path of least resistance, flowing like water. Roots flow just where the water does. So this is a beautiful reading. If you picked deck number 2, congratulations on awakening your soul purpose and awakening the spirit within. Very beautiful card. You are going through a very beautiful transformational time in your life. All right, so moving on to deck number 3, we have our crystal quartz here. Very nice. All right, so first card out of the deck is Forest Frolic, Maiden. I acknowledge my inner child and open to my heart and the joy she brings. So how are you nurturing your inner child? What are you doing? When was the last time you ran with your arms open, or laughed or spun around or looked at the sky or jumped up and down or done something that you used to enjoy doing as a child? Spending time in nature is going to be essential for this. Just finding time to frolic, to run, and to play, and to laugh, and to sing. One thing I just love about this card is she is the absolute life of the party. It's just her, right? But there, it looks like a party. You have like all of these little butterflies and orbs around and all of these little creatures admiring and looking at her. And she needs nothing. She has absolutely nothing, but she looks so content and so joyous in her frolic. The next card out of your deck is going to be Crown Chakra. Very beautiful. The mantra behind this is, I know I am part of Source and my life is divinely guided. My life is guided by divine wisdom. This card will show up when you are about to connect to, you're always connected to Source, but sometimes our connection's a little bit more stronger than others, and you find that your connection will move in a plateau. Well, you'll get this like shot of energy, and then you'll sort of get used to it, and then you'll just take this another little evolutionary leap. So being prepared and being open to receiving that divine wisdom that is always being cascaded and poured upon you. Meditation is a key aspect to unlocking your crown chakra and getting in tune with your own inner voice and your own inner guidance system. The crown chakra is past the color wheel. If you look at the color wheel and how we can perceive red to purple. And if you look at the actual color spectrum, there's ultraviolet lights that we can't see, and then there's ultra-red lights, infrared lights, and radiation that we are not able to see and perceive. So the crown chakra is beyond our color perception. So sometimes we talk about it being white or a violet color, but essentially what they're trying to get at, it is at such a high frequency that we can't necessarily perceive it in a physical form. But that doesn't mean that we can't perceive it. There's other ways and other senses that we can begin to develop when we work on our crown chakra. So crown chakra meditations, fasting is really good for the crown chakra. Wearing purple, wearing white is good for the crown chakra. And then the next card out of your deck is the water element. I allow my body, mind, and spirit to flow intuitively through the changes of life. So how can you be more like water? How can you flow with the path of least resistance, right? How can you be more content in your moment? Water is always going through changes. It's always going through cycles. It's always going into the sea and then up into the clouds and then turning into a rainbow and then raining back down again. And it's this whole cycle of nonstop moving. Stagnant water is really rare. And even when water is stagnant, it's not necessarily stagnant. It's always moving. It's getting picked up by bugs and it's absorbing into the groundwater, even if it is slowly. So even if you are feeling a little bit stagnant in the moment, just know that that is not your natural state of being and that change is inevitable and that you can only be stagnant for so long. So trying to embrace this element of change, you can do this by drinking more water, making sure that you're staying hydrated, surrounding yourself by water. If you're not able to be near lakes or streams or oceans, you can always get little fountains, or just the sound of water is very beneficial to meditate to. And the water element can be really powerful, or it could be very resisting. When you think of getting caught in a current or getting caught in a riptide, you can either use the current and paddle with the current and get strength and get momentum for it, or you can waste all of your energy fighting against the current and essentially burn out all your energy and then eventually also just have to go with the current still. So being able to embrace the water element is learning where to use our energy and where to conserve our energy for the most benefit towards ourselves. So essentially what I get from these cards, if you picked deck number 3, is I get that you need to embrace letting go, right? The forest frolic is all about letting go, being that childhood innocence. The crown chakra is knowing that you are already connected to source, and the water element is going with that flow and the change of life. So wherever you are, just know that it is exactly perfect towards your development, and just practice on relaxing into it, relaxing into your vibration, and just trusting that source has your back. So that was deck number 3. So I hope you enjoyed the pick a card reading. I hope you received something for it, and if it didn't resonate, then it shows you things too, right? Things don't always have to resonate to teach us things about ourselves. So thank you for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever I post new content or new videos. I hope you have a blessed day, evening, or afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this time, space, reality. Much love. Namaste.